Fixing up the exterior.
Can you help me figure out some inexpensive ways to fix up the exterior of my home?
Like the interior, the number one thing you can do is to repaint the outside of your home if it needs it.
What do you think of the landscaping?
Your lawn looks really good. Perhaps you could get some timers installed for your sprinklers.
How about adding some flowers or something?
Colorful flowers are always a nice addition to a yard to add curb appeal.
What about fixing up the backyard?
Make sure the lawn is well trimmed and the bushes are cut back.
Can you think of any more overall suggestions for the exterior?
Wash all the windows inside and out.
I keep hearing about curb appeal and want to know how to achieve it.
The paint job on your home looks pretty good, but I would touch up the wooden trim a little where you have some peeling spots.
I am not so sure that everyone will like the landscaping.
Your landscaping is a disaster. To get top dollar for your home, you should replace it.
Is there anything I can do to add some interest to my front yard?
You have beautiful plants in your yard, although some of them aren't in bloom right now. Just add a few colorful flowers in pots.
Is the appearance of the backyard important?
If you can borrow some really nice patio furniture to show off your lovely patio, that would be nice.
Any final suggestions on how I can make the exterior of my house even more appealing?
Having your trees and bushes trimmed could be an investment. What can I do to fix up the exterior of my home?
I would say the number one thing that you can do is paint your home. But your home has been painted recently and looks great.
What can I do about the landscaping?
Your lawn looks a little dried out. I think all it needs is a little fertilizer and water.
My front yard looks a little boring. How can I brighten it up?
I would definitely put in some new plantings to liven your yard up a bit.
Should I be worried about what my backyard looks like?
You need to repair that section where your fence is falling down.
What else can I do to make the exterior of the house look extra good to buyers?
Make sure to keep the sidewalks and driveways swept clean at all times.
Accepting an offer.
I am so anxious to hear what the bid was on our house.
Remember that we set the asking price at $3,000. The first offer is $290,000.
That's way better than I expected so early in the game.
The offer is definitely a good one. But let's make sure we look at the whole picture.
What are the other considerations?
They want you to pay for the inspection, but they want to pick out the inspector. If the house is defective, they will want out of the deal.
I don't have a problem with that.
You could make them a counteroffer, but I know that you need a timely sale.
Please notify the buyers that I have accepted their offer.
I think that you're making the right choice. I will phone the buyers right away. What did the buyers offer us on our house?
With the original asking price at $300,000, the buyers are willing to pay $290,000.
I am really pleased with that offer.
I agree that the offer is in the ballpark. We need to consider everything before we accept.
Besides the selling price, what else is there to consider?
They want you to pay to have the cracks in the back wall fixed and a couple of the roof tiles replaced.
All of that is acceptable to me.
A counteroffer by you is always a possibility, but their price is very close to your asking price. You could risk losing the sale.
I wish to officially accept their offer.
This is a win-win situation for both you and the buyer. I am sure that you will both be happy with your decision.
How much did the buyers bid on our house?
Your asking price was $300,000. The potential buyers offered $290,000.
That's a great offer.
Yes, it is a good offer. Before you accept, we should look at some details.
What else do we need to look at?
They want you to pay all closing costs. Of course, they are making the sale contingent on an inspection showing no major defects in the house.
I think that sounds fair.
You could put in a counteroffer, but I know that these buyers also have their eye on another house down the street.
I definitely want to accept their offer.
Excellent decision. I will notify them immediately.
Preparing to move out.
I want our moving day to go smoothly, and I'm open to your suggestions.
I would suggest that you make a list and check off the items as you go along. The list will get shorter as your moving date approaches.
What things do people usually put on their moving list?
One thing that can be done ahead of time is to get rid of excess stuff by having a garage sale.
That would mean a lot less time wasted in packing up our things.
List scheduling your moving van as an item on your to-do list.
Do people ever start packing a month or so before moving?
You can certainly start packing things that you won't be using right away.
I don't know if I should have my utilities shut off or leave them on for the people who are moving in.
You could simply have all the utilities shut off on the day you move out, but you might want to coordinate with the new owners. Do you have any helpful hints for preparing to move out of my home?
The first thing I would do is to make a list of what needs to be done. Then number the items as to what can be done ahead of time.
What kinds of things should be on my list?
First would probably be to get rid of any extra things that you have by having a garage sale.
That is a good idea because I have way too much junk.
You also should schedule your moving van in advance.
Can I begin packing things ahead of time?
Yes, just keep in mind what you won't be using in the near future and pack those items first.
Should I schedule my utilities to be shut off?
You need to work that out ahead of time with your utility companies and the new owners. I was wondering if you had any useful suggestions for how to prepare for our moving day.
Make a prioritized list of what needs to be done and when. Many things can be done ahead of time.
Can you give me some suggestions for my list?
Many people have a garage sale to avoid moving things that they no longer use.
That would certainly cut down on the price of moving.
Make sure that you take the time to schedule your moving van.
Would it be okay to get a head start on my packing?
Begin by packing things that you don't frequently need. Save only a few things until right before your moving date.
When should I have my utilities shut off?
It is best for you and the new owners to coordinate the transfer of the utilities and what needs to be turned off and on.
Accepting a counteroffer.
My assistant called and said that you had received a response to our counteroffer.
Yes, the buyers called me just an hour ago.
Did they accept the counteroffer?
They came back with their own counteroffer of $5,000 less than you wanted.
What do they think about their counteroffer?
I think that this is a good offer. They also would like to have a 90-day escrow to allow them to sell their home.
The length of the escrow is not that huge issue with us.
They also want to sell contingent on a good building inspection.
That is reasonable, and I accept the conditions.
I will let them know that you have accepted their counteroffer. They will be very pleased. I was calling in to see if there had been any response from the buyers regarding my counteroffer.
Yes, the buyer's agent just contacted me while I was at the open house.
Did they state whether the counteroffer worked for them or not?
They almost accepted your counteroffer price, but want to go a little lower. They are offering $5,000 less than your counteroffer.
In your professional opinion, is this a good offer?
Personally, in today's market, I would accept the offer. They also want a short escrow as they feel that the interest rates are low right now.
We can either lengthen or shorten the escrow for the buyer.
They want to make sure that the inspector says that there are no major problems with the house before this is a solid deal.
Of course, the house will have to pass a basic inspection, but we accept their counteroffer.
The buyers will be happy to hear that you have accepted their counteroffer. I had a message on my phone that the buyers had responded to our counteroffer.
Yes, the response just came through on the fax machine.
Was the counteroffer acceptable to them?
They made their own counteroffer of $5,000 less than you proposed.
Do you feel their counteroffer is reasonable?
Their offer is a good one. They also want to have a short escrow, as they have already sold their home and are ready to move in.
We can accommodate the buyer's desire for an escrow length of their choosing.
They want their building inspector to approve the quality of their house.
I would expect that to be the case and accept their counteroffer.
I will contact the buyers immediately and let them know of your acceptance of their counteroffer. I'm sure they will be excited.
Deciding whether to carry part of a loan.
My potential buyer has asked me to carry part of his loan.
The decision to carry part of a loan might be advantageous to you or problematic.
Why would I ever want to carry a note on a house?
It is a type of investment that can offer a fairly steady return over a set period of time.
Why is my buyer requesting that I carry part of his loan?
Oftentimes, buyers are well able to afford the home, but unable to qualify for a loan.
Are there any risks in carrying a second mortgage?
You are basically betting on the fact that the home is not going to drastically fall in price. This could leave you with a house that is not worth much.
Will I be financing this loan for a set period of time?
That is entirely up to you and the buyer. If the purchaser of your home wants you to carry part of the loan, is that good?
Carrying a loan could be good or bad for you as a seller.
Why would it be a good thing to carry a note on my own house?
For investors who can afford to have their money tied up, it can offer a fairly nice return.
What advantage is my buyer looking for in having me carry him on paper?
We are seeing more and more buyers who are not able to qualify for a loan and are able to take out a second mortgage with the owner.
Can I lose my money if I carry a second mortgage?
It is an investment and carries some risks. You are counting on the housing market to not go into a tailspin.
Is there a certain amount of time that I will be carrying this loan?
The buyer and the seller set the year for the loan to come due.
I heard that the potential buyer is interested in me carrying part of a loan for him.
Carrying part of a loan can be a good or a bad thing, depending on the circumstances.
What would be an advantage of me carrying a note on the house?
If you don't need the money, you can earn a fairly good interest rate.
Why does my buyer want me to carry part of his loan?
In this economy, buyers sometimes have trouble getting a loan, even when they have good credit.
What are the risks to me?
The risk is that the market could drop drastically and the owner would walk away.
How long will I need to commit to financing this loan?
You need to make an agreement with the buyer as to how long you will carry the note.
Moving day.
Could you check and see if the moving van is out there yet?
It just arrived. They're parking at the curb right now.
Do me a favor and do one last walkthrough to check for anything that may not have gotten packed.
We've already double-checked everything. Should we put the suitcases in the car?
It is the perfect time to take care of that.
I am so happy that we didn't pack all of our clothes into boxes. The suitcase of clothes will help us to get what we need until our boxes arrived.
Should we empty the freezer into the ice chest?
Let's do a few more things and then take care of that as one of the last things we do.
Deciding to keep the birds at the neighbors until we leave was a good idea.
Let's sweep the floor on our way out so we don't leave too big of a mess behind. Is the moving van here yet?
Yes, it just pulled up to the curb. Here we go.
Could you double check and make sure that everything made it into the boxes?
I have already done that. Would you like me to put our suitcases into the car?
Yes, this would be a good time to do that.
I am so glad that we took the time to pack our essentials into suitcases. It will tide us over until the van arrives at our new home.
Would this be a good time to pack the frozen food into the ice chest?
I think that we should wait until the very last minute to do that.
I am going to take the dog for a walk so that he doesn't get too stressed out as the movers are working.
Well, let's get started sweeping up and do a last-minute cleaning.
Do you think that the moving van has arrived?
It's coming down the street even as we speak.
Could I ask you to make one last check to make sure that everything got into the boxes?
Relax. Do you need me to put the suitcases in the car?
Yes, let's do that right now.
It was such a good idea to pack the suitcases to have some things with us while we're waiting for the moving van to arrive on the other end.
Maybe we could pack the frozen food into the ice chest?
Let's wait until the van is almost completely loaded to take care of that.
I am sure happy that we dropped the cats off at the kennel so they aren't freaking out.
I'm going to start sweeping up the floor. I want the new owners to not have to clean up a mess.
Filing a complaint at the police station.
What may I help you with?
I need to file a complaint.
What is your complaint about?
I got robbed.
When did this happen?
It happened this morning.
What was taken?
My wallet and cell phone.
Did you get a good look at the person who robbed you?
I sure did.
Would you be able to pick him out of a lineup?
That shouldn't be a problem.
What can I do for you?
I would like to file a complaint.
What happened?
I was robbed.
When did this happen?
It happened this morning.
What was taken from you?
My wallet and my cell phone.
Were you able to get a good look at this person's face?
Yes, I was.
Would you be able to pick him out of a lineup?
That would be easy. May I help you?
I want to file a complaint.
What's the problem?
A man robbed me today.
When?
I was robbed this morning.
What did he take?
He took my phone and my wallet.
Did you see his face?
I saw him perfectly.
Could you pick him out of a lineup?
I could do that.
Making an offer through a realtor.
I would like to make an offer on this house, but I don't know much about the process.
As a realtor, I am here to take care of this process. How much were you planning on offering?
I really like the house and will pay the full asking price of $350,000.
We want to leave ourselves some bargaining room. Let's offer $320,000.
That sounds good, but I don't want this house to get away from me.
The market is fairly down right now, so the offer is a realistic one.
When will we know if they accept the offer?
The owners usually respond to an offer within a few days.
Should I be contacting my bank in the meantime?
You are already pre-qualified for your loan, so you are in good shape.
I have never done this before and don't know where to begin as far as making an offer on this house.
Leave the details of making the offer up to me. What were you thinking you should offer?
I absolutely must have this house and will pay $350,000 or more.
It is best to start a little low on the first bid to allow for a counteroffer. How about offering $320,000?
I hope that the owners aren't insulted by that offer.
Your offering price is not out of line. The owners will either take it or make a counteroffer.
Does it usually take very long for the owners to get back to you with an acceptance?
It usually doesn't take very long for owners to respond to an offer.
Should I be in touch with my bank to tell them to get the loan papers ready?
The only thing you should do now is relax. You already are pre-qualified for your loan. I have never bought a house before and don't know how to make an offer.
The process of actually making the offer is something that I will take care of for you. What price were you considering offering?
I love this house and would be willing to pay the full asking price of $350,000.
Let's leave some room on this offer. I think that $320,000 is a fair offer in this housing market.
We could try that, but I really want this house.
It is common practice to offer and then have a counter offer.
How long will it take to find out if they are going to accept the offer?
The sellers are usually fairly quick to respond. They want to get things moving.
Should I tell my bank that I have made an offer?
There really isn't anything else to do right now except wait. You are already pre-qualified for your loan.
Discussing home inspection with an inspector.
Can you tell me the results of my home inspection?
Before I answer that, I want to make sure that you know what I was looking for. Are you clear on what I was looking for?
I never had a home inspection before.
I inspect the home for problems that might not be all that apparent in a quick walkthrough.
I asked the owners and they said that everything was great with the house.
The owners might not be aware of everything wrong with the house. Some things are hidden but might still be a problem for you in the future.
I heard that the owners must fix all the problems before the escrow closes.
I inform you of the problems. If there are major problems, you can decline to buy the house, or they may wish to fix any problems.
What kinds of things did you discover in my home inspection?
I found some fairly major problems. A major support beam in the roof is broken, and the shower floor leaked and rotted out the second floor joist. I came in to see how my home inspection went.
First of all, I need to share what the purpose of a home inspection is. Do you understand what I was doing there?
I had a home inspection before, but didn't really understand it.
I help you spot potential problems with the home before you purchase it.
The owner said that the roof had leaked, but that he had got it fixed last month.
Sellers aren't really all that objective. They may have gotten used to a leaky faucet, but it is still broken.
Are the sellers responsible for fixing the problems with the house?
The owners may wish to pay to have the problems fixed, or maybe the price of the house can be reduced.
Did you find a lot of things wrong during the home inspection?
The house has a very outdated electrical system. Many of the switches and outlets do not work and are unsafe.
I heard that you finished my home inspection, and I was wondering how it went.
First of all, we need to understand what I was looking for. Do you know what the purpose of an inspection is?
I'm not sure what a home inspection is all about.
I went there to check for problems with the home, so you aren't surprised when you move in.
Wouldn't the owners have told me about any problems?
Sellers aren't always truthful, and there might also be problems that they aren't aware of.
Can I require the owners to fix the problems?
You can make the sale of the house contingent on them fixing the problems.
What did you find out when you did the inspection of my new home?
There were no major problems. One leaky pipe under the sink and 2 broken roof tiles was all that I found.
Discussing details of moving in.
What would be the earliest that I could actually move into my new house?
The keys will be turned in on Tuesday night. The house will be yours at that time.
What should we do to make sure that we have the electricity and water turned on?
You can tell the utility company what day you are moving in, and they will transfer the utilities to your name.
There are a few things that we want to do to this place, like painting and carpet cleaning.
Take advantage of the house being empty to clean and paint. It will be harder to do after the furniture and appliances have arrived.
I asked the store to deliver my new appliances on the day we are moving in.
That will be good. You are going to want your stove and refrigerator right away.
I could use some help on moving day. What are you doing on Saturday?
I think I am getting a fever and will be too sick to help you. Here, feel how hot my head is.
When can I move into my new house?
The current owners will be moving out on Tuesday, so technically you could pick up the keys and move in on Wednesday.
Will the utilities be turned on?
You need to contact the utility company and make arrangements to transfer the utilities to your name.
I really want to paint the walls right away and get the carpet cleaned.
If I were you, I would take a few days to take care of those things before you move in.
I was thinking that I should have my new appliances delivered as we are moving in.
That would be perfect. That way someone will be there, but you will have them right away.
Can you help me on my move-in day?
I think that I have something else really important to do on that day. I just can't remember what it is. What would be a good day to finally move into the house?
You can pick up your keys on Tuesday night. When you actually move in, it is up to you.
Will the electricity and water be on, or do we need to do something to get it turned on?
Make sure that you transfer the utilities to your name and tell them when you will be moving in.
The carpet needs to be cleaned, and I want to paint the walls a different color.
An empty house is easier to paint and clean. Take a few days to take care of those things before you start moving your furniture in.
I want my appliances to be delivered as we are moving into the house.
I think that will work out just fine. It will help you when you move your groceries in and need to keep them cold.
Would you be willing to help me do a few things on the day I move in?
My grandmother needs me to help her trim her roses that day.
Signing escrow papers.
I am here to sign my escrow papers.
I will tell you ahead of time that there is a lot to sign here, but I will help you every step of the way.
Should I have brought anything with me?
Basically, what I need from you now is your driver's license or some ID that shows your residency status.
Where do I start?
We will be going through these papers one by one. I will be explaining them all to you, and you can ask questions as we go.
Can I make a phone call to a friend if I have a question?
We do not want you to sign any documents that you do not understand. You may get assistance with any questions that you have.
Will the house be mine when we finish these documents?
This is the last thing you need to do, but it may take a while for the papers to be processed. I am very nervous about signing my escrow papers.
Escrow involves a lot of paperwork, but I'll explain all of these steps to you as we go along.
What should I have brought with me?
The only thing that I will need to see is your driver's license, as I will be notarizing these papers.
I feel a little overwhelmed by so many papers.
Don't worry about how many papers there are. We're going to look at them one at a time.
My boyfriend is an attorney and told me that I could fax him anything if I had a question.
Please get any outside help that you need in understanding your escrow documents.
Is this the last thing that I will need to do before the house becomes mine?
At the close of the escrow, the house will be yours.
Your assistant said that it was time to come in and sign my escrow papers.
Don't be intimidated. There's a lot to sign, but I'll explain everything to you very clearly.
Do you need anything from me?
All the papers have been drawn up, but I'll need to see your picture ID so we can notarize these papers.
There are a lot of papers.
We are going to go through these bit by bit. You will have plenty of time to read the fine print.
My dad is going to be here in a minute to help me go through this with you.
We want you to get any outside help that you need. Do not ever sign documents that you don't understand.
Can I start moving in after I finish signing these documents?
When these papers get processed, the house will be yours.
Reoffering and acceptance.
I was anxious to find out what the sellers had to say about my counteroffer.
I was able to contact them, so if you'll step into my office, we'll talk.
Did they go with the proposed counteroffer?
They want you to pick up the cost of the home inspection, but they accepted your offer.
Is a home inspection very expensive?
It can cost between $500 and $1,000.
Do I get to choose who inspects the home?
Yes, you get to choose. I would spend a little more time to get a really thorough inspection.
Can you call the owners with my acceptance right away?
I am going to contact the sellers immediately. They were looking forward to your acceptance. Were you able to contact the owners about my counteroffer?
Yes, please have a seat and we'll discuss this right now.
I hope that they accepted the counteroffer.
The counteroffer was acceptable to them, but they want you to pay for the home inspection.
Will the home inspection cost me a lot?
It can cost as little as $500 and as much as $1,000.
Is it my choice as to who inspects this house?
Yes, it is your choice as you are paying for it. Make a wise investment and choose the best inspector you can find.
How long until you contact the sellers with my acceptance?
Let's call them right now. I am sure that they will be happy to hear that you have agreed to pay for the inspection.
Did you get a chance to speak with the sellers about my counteroffer?
Yes, and I think I have good news for you.
Did they accept the counteroffer?
Yes, they accepted your counteroffer, but they want you to pay for the home inspection.
How much will that cost?
It will cost you around $500 to $1,000 for a home inspection.
Can I choose the home inspector?
Yes, you are paying for it, so you get to choose. I will pick the best one.
So, when are you going to inform the owners of my acceptance?
I will call the owners right now. They will be happy to hear the good news.